Hey folks, it's Keith down Redwood Groves, and today we're working on another project from the aquaponics. We're getting ready to build the base for the media beds. Media beds on our design is three 8-foot sections, 4 foot wide, so the total side is 24 feet. Yeah, math. Anyhow, so let me show you what we're working on and how we're doing it, and let's start making it. Stick with me. Alrighty, so like I said, it's shadowing in here. There we go, let's see. Okay, here we got, it's 24 feet. So I got three 8-foot sections for the uprights, and I've got two 8-foot sections and two 4-foot sections for the cross supports. Alright, so what that does is it tries to get the joints so that they're not at the same spot. Alrighty, so you can see right here and right here. What I'm going to do is screw them together, but this piece needs to be higher so that when the cross supports go through and the floor sits on it, that the 2x4s that tie it together are flush with this, so we have to raise it up. Now what I've done to start it is I take the first piece, I mark it at 48 inches, and I put a screw every 8 inches. So what I do is I take the mark, come in 1 inch on both sides, you can see hopefully right there, and then every 8 inches I put a mark, and that's where I'm going to put a screw. What I'm using are 3-inch long screws. I don't remember what box store, but I got these 3-inch deckmate screws. So they're coated, and they seem to be working pretty good. Now, if you wanted to save some money, I guess, you could rip these in half and save yourself a little bit of wood, but then you got time in it. I decided to just use the full 2x4s so that I didn't have the time to spend ripping it, and I can keep moving along, plus it'll give me the extra structure. So let me show you where we work on that. Let's get this lined up and start putting some screws and screw it together. Alright, so you can see there's my 4-foot mark, hopefully. I've got the first cross support in. I'm using my 4-foot cross support. Let me show you here to keep this flush. I've got it kind of clamped on here with another board to get it so that I can make sure I'm flush. And now what I can do is I can put some screws in there. It helps keep it a little stable. Sometimes you might find you want to clamp it all the way. I think I've gotten so this is pretty easy for me and I don't need to, but as I say that and I'm videotaping this, for you guys, who knows what's going to happen. I find using that tape measure gives me pretty much right the nice thickness to hold the center of the board. If you put it right on that one side, for my tape measure, yours might be a little different, but put one in the end. If you put the two ends in, you do this end, then it's pretty much in place. And then you can put the rest of the screws in. And you marked it while it was up there so you don't have to I don't think it's really totally necessary to worry about every 8 inches, but you want to be approximately every 8 inches, so the OCD in me says mark it You don't have to worry about it. Okay, on to the next piece. Pretty straightforward. I'll bring you in the next section. All right, right side done. Left side, mirror image. If you have a problem trying to understand mirror image, whatever, just lay it out so that you see it and put it in so that you've got the left side. So when we flip this thing down, this will be the upright, this will be the support for the 2x4 spanning. And then what we'll end up doing when this is all set up is we'll put a sheet of plywood down for the floor on this media beds here. So let's screw some of these together and work along with me. If you're a new subscriber, I appreciate you subscribing. If you are a new person and you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. Give me that thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. It does help. I have growing the subscriptions, and I'm getting pretty excited about how the channel is evolving. If you got any comments or requests, please put them in the comment section. I'd gladly try to work for you on them. I'm going to try something different here. This time I'm going to start at the end. The last time I must have missed my mark or something, and I'm about 1/4 inch short over here. It's not going to matter, but I don't like that, so I'm going to start at the end here, keep it nice and flush, and that should get us perfect at the other end. I did pay the premium for premium studs. It's what's available here with COVID anyway, so you kind of take what you can get. Most of this build's been that way. It's what's available, not necessarily what you want. But it's all good, right? Yeah. Just put a little piece here to keep this thing from tipping. Again, this is going to be holding a lot of weight, so don't be skimpy on those screws. can get into a pretty good groove here, and it'll go pretty fast. I don't know if you guys noticed, they've seemed to go into these little tips that don't lock in here, so now you gotta use a magnet. I don't know if that was something they've decided everybody's using a magnet so it's better, or they just cheapen out, gone to the smaller bit. What's your thoughts on that? Like I said, I find the easiest is to locate where you want the position on both ends, and then you can do the ones in between. It's not super critical. You want it just close enough where you don't have a bunch of gaps, that's for sure. Must have hit a knot or something and jumped on me. So I'll just put in another screw at a different spot. So I don't keep fighting with it. And once this has got location, it'll usually go down and hold where you want it. Beautiful. Excellent. Two sides are done. Now let's get it together and make it part of the base. So the next step, we got both the sides done. I cut the cross supports 45 inches. That should give us 48 inches all the way across for the 4x8 sheets of plywood to be set down for the base of the beds. I'm using a tape measure, and this should be roughly 24 4 and a quarter based on the last one. And I did. So take the corner, tape measure. I like to tape measure so you can do it by yourself. You can kind of pull it on that corner, hold it, and we can see I'm about 24 and 5 inches, give or take. Pull that in tight, and we are now about 24 and 3/4. So what I like to do, because I know what the dimension now should be, is I'll take my hammer and I will just tap this . 4 1/2. To 24 and 1/4. So now we'll take and we'll check this side. That might mess it up. It looked like it had moved over here. Get myself out of the way. So now it is 24 4. So all right, so we're 24 4 and 1/8 there, and hopefully we're 24 4 and 1/8 here. Four and 1/8. All right, so now they're pretty much parallel and square, so we can just screw these ends down, and then we can put all these other cross supports in. Alrighty, once you get the ends in, screwed in, do another check to verify your square didn't move. I did that, and I am still perfectly good. Yay! So now it is time to put in the additional cross supports. So what I usually do, start in the center, take my speed square, and get myself pretty close to where I want it. And I'm trying to use the tripod to move this wood. That's probably not good. So get that fairly square, and then what you're trying to do is tie in the joint for the cross supports on this side, this one. So one on this side, one on this side, and it moved. Come on over here. Verify your 48 inches. And we're not. Let's get a screw in here. Get ready. Three hands. All right. So, speed square. Tap it into 48 and set the screw. So I made sure the ends were 48. Now I've done the center. I'll, check on the other ones, but I've tucked everything in so it should be pretty close to just fit and work. Let's make it happen. Beautiful. bit. Now this one here, this one's bowed out. Almost 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna have to get a clamp. There's a little pressure in that. See if I can tow it in. Yep. That worked out a lot better. When you're putting these boards together, there's some inherent twists and stress in them, and you're trying to tie them and turn them into a structural. Sometimes they want to bind up on you a little. Alrighty. Well, we've got them all in, more or less ready for transport. There will be more put in here for support underneath the plywood, but right now I have to move this up into the greenhouse, and this is as heavy as I want to lift, and the tractor has the bucket on it, so I gotta go put the forks on that. You know, this is really a two-person job, but if you're one and you think smart, you can get it done. So I'll show you how I do it. So, technically, all I'm lifting here is 15 2x4 8-foot longs all screwed together. It's just 4 foot by 24 foot long. So it's a little bulky, it's a little awkward. I'm going to pick it up in the center and put it on my forks, and then we'll use the tractor to transfer it up to the greenhouse. Back sport brakes on. Pick it up. Just set it on the forks. The rest of the transfer is almost easy. Nice and easy. We aren't winning any race today. Now I have an extra 2x4 on this side, and my 2x4 is not on the center, so it is a little heavier on that side. Which is really okay, because the greenhouse is recessed or sunken, and I'm going down on that side. All right. Try to use the tractor to move it in more or less as close as possible. Then we just set it on the ground and lean it into that wall slowly. Okay, excellent. All right, so here's the greenhouse. I have the floating rafts base already in place. I've got most of the blocks in position here, and what we're going to do now, I'll bring this thing in and we'll try to set up on these blocks. Wish me luck. I knew that was going to hit the forks. Alrighty. All right. That wasn't that hard. In place. Folks, better with friends. Just everybody's working right now, so I keep doing it by myself. I gotta get a few more blocks, take the level, and get this all leveled up. So we got everything approximately in the right location. Now I'm just trying to level it. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but this ground is actually going down. When we got the building, we leveled the building out, but inside there was still taper. We tried to level it out more with dirt, and I've leveled it out a little bit more with stone. But if you can see right there, there's a the seam of the bricks, and then it actually drops down. We got a half block, so it drops about 4 inches. And so what happens is you get an extra block. So what I've done is try to figure out the best block system, and through here it's a little high spot also. And you could do this so that this 8 foot was this certain level, and then 8 foot on this certain level. I could have stepped it down. We talked about it. I didn't want that. If I probably didn't tell you this, you wouldn't even notice it. You definitely wouldn't notice on the video. And once everything is up and running, you wouldn't even notice it either. But it is what we're doing here. So what I've done is I've taken, got the corners, leveled this thing all out. So now there's actually, you can look right through here, we are level. And if you look right here, we are level. So all I do now is I'll take the tape measure, and I'll get a dimension. I don't know where my tape measure is. Oh. So what I'll do is I'll take a dimension here, and we are about 2 3/8. It looks like. So I've got a piece of wood here. I've got a bunch of different size pieces of wood, scrap pieces, and I'll slide this thing in here to get as close as I can, and then just take 2 shims and we'll shim it in and get it as close as possible. And that'll get us so that we got support. I'm trying to do support through the whole block, not just a point. So go through that, we'll do all the blocks. You can see I have one more here left, and then this is actually all done, and we're ready to put the floor down. So I think that'll be enough for this video. I'm not really sure, but I think we're getting pretty lengthy. So if you like, again, please hit that thumbs up, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video. This is Keith, Down Redwood Grows. Have a great day.